This is it. This is the Red Sea, its true location. South Africa. South Africa is the southernmost country in Africa. It is bordered by the countries of Namibia, Botswana, and Zambia. Africa is the Holy Land, and South Africa is the location of Eden, and within South Africa is the Red Sea. The Red Sea. The Red Sea is located in South Africa, and it is covered up with the place name Vaal River. The Vaal River. It is one of South Africa's longest river after the Orange River, and the Orange River, that is the Jordan River. The word Vaal is Dutch, and it means dull. The Vaal River, it is brown and gray in color. The Vaal River, it flows westward, and this is significant because it flows in the direction to the Promised Land in Namibia. The Promised Land, it is west of the Red Sea. The Red Sea, it is the Vaal River. And the Red Sea is located in South Africa and South Africa only. And it is located south of Elam. The Hebrew word for Red Sea is Yam Suf. Yam, spelled Y-A-M. Yam means sea, and the Red Sea is in the shape of the Hebrew letters Yod and Mem. Yod and Mem are the Hebrew letters that make up the Hebrew word Yam, and this is significant because there is no other sea or river that shapes like the Hebrew letters Yod and Mem. the shape of the Red Sea, it specifies only one location, and that location, it is South Africa. Why is the color red associated with the Yam Suf? Well, the Yam Suf, it is not red in color. Many scholars say the word red is actually the word reeds. Hence, the Red Sea is actually the Reed Sea. But this is incorrect. Suf, spelled S-U-P-H. Suf. This word does not refer to the color red, and Suf does not refer to reeds. The word Suf is the Hebrew word made up of Hebrew letters Samak, Wa, and Pei. The word Suf, it refers to the trees on the banks of the river, the Val River. The Hebrew word Suf, it does not refer to the color red, and it does not refer to reeds. The Hebrew word Suf, it refers to the trees that are on the river banks. As we look at the Hebrew word for Suf, we will see a completely different meaning that has been hidden and covered up by the Caucasian. The Caucasian has given various meanings for the Hebrew word Suf, such as the following. Suf means to come to an end, and this is incorrect. Another faulty definition of the Hebrew word Suf is Suf means reeds, hence the Reed Sea. Another faulty definition of the Hebrew word Suf is Suf means edge or border. Another faulty definition of the Hebrew word Suf is Suf means red. These all are incorrect. Suf does not mean red, it does not mean edge, it does not mean reeds, and it does not mean to come to an end. Why is the color red associated with the sea that Moses and the Hebrews crossed? The Hebrew word for Suf, it does not mean red. So why is the color red mentioned and associated with the sea that Moses and the Hebrews crossed? The Hebrew word Suf does not mean reed. So why are reeds associated with the river that Moses and the Hebrews crossed? A close look at the Hebrew word Suf will give us the correct meaning and understanding that has been hidden. The correct meaning of Suf, it will also give the correct location of the area of the sea that Moses and the Hebrews crossed. And this is the reason why the correct meaning of Suf is hidden. Suf is the Ivri letters SWP, Samak, Wa, and Pei. The Samak gives a pictograph of a tree, a thorn tree, and it shows how the pieces or extensions of the thorn tree emerges and extend outwards. A thorn, it is commonly found emerging from a thorn bush. This is why the pictograph of the Hebrew letter Samak is of a tree. The Wa, spelled W-A-W, the Wa shows that Samak is connected to the river. In the Hebrew word Yam, which means sea, the Wa is connected to the Mem. Mem means water. Thus the tree, and this is the Samak, the tree is connected to the sea or river. The Pei, this shows the tree is at the edge. It shows the connection of the tree to the river, and it is connected at the edge of the river on the banks. This means that there are trees on the banks of the river that Moses and the Hebrews crossed, and this is what Suf refers to, namely the trees on the banks of the river. The color red and the reeds, these are two characteristics of the trees on the banks of the river. One type of tree on the banks of the river that Moses and the Hebrew crossed is the river red gum tree. The red gum tree has a red color, and this is where the red comes from. The red gum tree, it has reeds around it, and this is where the reeds come from. But the Hebrew word suf, it refers to the river red gum tree. The river red gum tree, it sits on the banks of the river that Moses and the Hebrews crossed. The reason the color red is associated with the sea that Moses and the Hebrews crossed is because of the river red gum tree that sits on the banks of the Val River, which is the Red Sea. The river red gum tree, it is indigenous to South Africa, and the sea that Moses and the Hebrews crossed is located in South Africa. Locating the river red gum tree will give the location of the sea that Moses and the Hebrews crossed. The river red gum tree grows on the banks of the Val River, which is the sea that Moses and the Hebrews crossed. Now we know that the association of the color red to the sea that Moses and the Hebrews crossed, it is due to the color of the red gum tree that sits on the banks of the Val River. Now we know that the association of reeds to the river that Moses and the Hebrews crossed, it is due to the reeds around the river red gum tree. The Caucasian had to keep the river red gum tree hidden because it will give the correct location of the Yam Suf. The river red gum tree is not located in the Sinai Peninsula. The river red gum tree, this is one piece of evidence for the true location of the Red Sea. This is the Red Sea. This is the historical, the biblical and scriptural Red Sea. This is how it looks. This is its shape and this is its topology. And it is located in South Africa. The Red Sea, it is not located in the Middle East, in Southwest Asia. This is the true location of the Red Sea, the Yam Suf. The Yam Suf, it is shaped like the Hebrew letters, the every letters, the Yod and Mem. This is the Red Sea. This is the Yod. This is the Mem. And as we look at this sea, we can see the Hebrew letter Yod formed and shaped in the sea. This is the part of the Red Sea here. This is the Yod. Extending from here and going here. This part of the Red Sea is shaped in the Hebrew letter Yod. And this part of the Red Sea, It is shaped in the Hebrew letter Mem. This is the Mem. And as we look at the Red Sea on this side, we can see the shape, the formation of this sea in the shape of the Hebrew letter Mem. Go here, up, and down. So the Red Sea, it is shaped like the Yod and Mem. Yod and Mem, and the Yod and Mem, that is the Hebrew word for Yam. Yam, and Yam means sea. Another interesting feature and structure and characteristic of the Red Sea is the Red Sea. It is in the shape and form and formation of the Hebrew letter Samak. Samak. Samak is a pictograph of a thorn tree. And as we look at the pictograph of the Hebrew letter Samak, we can see the Red Sea is shaped like the Hebrew letter, the S, Samak. This is the pictograph of Samak, a thorn and thorn tree, and this is a thorn. Parts of the thorn consist of the spine. This is the spine, and the prickles, and these are the prickles. And this is a thorn. This is the Samak. And as we look at the Red Sea, we'll see that the sea is in the shape of the Hebrew letter Samak, of a thorn. This is the spine. This is the spine, and all of these inlets extending from the spine. These are the prickles of the spine, all of these inlets of water. There's an inlet here, here, on this side as well. And as we come to this side of the sea, as we look over here, we can see a spine, like a thorn, a spine. And attached to this spine are a lot of inlets of water that will resemble the prickle of the spine. All of these inlets of water. And this is the reason why the Most High had Moses and the Hebrews to call this section, this body of water, Yam Suf. It is in the shape of the Hebrew word Yam, Y-N-M, the Yod and Mem. This is the Yod, and this is the Mem. The sea, this body of water, it is also in the shape of the Hebrew letter Samak, of a thorn that has a spine and prickles. And this shape, this form of sea, of a body of water, this is the only location on earth where a sea, where a body of water is shaped like the Hebrew letter Samak in the shape of a thorn tree, and also in the shape of the Yod and Mem. Thus the Val River, it is the only river that fits the shape of the Hebrew letter Samak, that fits the shape of a thorn tree, that fits the Yod and Mem, the Val River. It is the Red Sea, the biblical, scriptural, and historical Red Sea. In Exodus chapter 14, verse 16, the Most High said to Moses, "But lift thou up thy rod, and stretch out thine hand over the sea, and divide it, and the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea." Why did the Most High tell Moses to stretch his hands over the sea? The hand over the sea, it is a reference to the Yod and Mem, and Yod and Mem means sea in Hebrew. It is also a reference to the shape of the Red Sea, and it is also a reference to the Most High, because it is the Most High that divides the water, not Moses. Moses has no power to divide any water. However, God, the Most High, he has all power to save his people, and he did so by dividing the waters. He did so with a high hand. Thus the significance of God telling Moses to stretch his hands over the sea. It refers to God himself delivering his people with an outstretched arm and hand, and this refers to power, the power of God. This is why the Red Sea is in the shape of the Hebrew letters Yod and Mem. Yod and Mem means sea, but it is also a reference to the outstretched hand of the Most High that refers to the power of God, able to deliver his people. The Caucasian, he had to keep this location hidden by not mentioning the river red gum tree. All scholars, they use the word red and reeds with the hopes of causing confusion and keeping the location, the true location of the Red Sea hidden. This is it here, the Red Sea, located in South Africa. This is its shape, this is its topology, the Red Sea.